Nigeria. The only problem is that the electric system, it's different.
Yeah.
So by the time he figured out all the costs, somebody who will do this is probably a great, because their head is thinking about money all the time. But you have to do your due diligence, and you have to be very patient also to see how, your business, you might kill it in the growth stage. Why do that? And another reason why your business might fail is that you might look for the wrong investors. If you want to start a train service in Nigeria, you think there should be trains in Lagos. What color do you think your investors should be? What? Did you say?
Should be blue.
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 Why would a blue person who is not a train driver or train engineer invest in your business? What about gray? Because you're going to spend a lot of money upfront to lay the tracks, to construct everything, and you're going to charge people $2 to enter the train. When is it going to get his money back? So the kind of investors you look for is very important. You don't approach everybody to invest in your business. You sort of have to understand their own mindset, their own money color. If you want to invest your money, if you want someone to invest in your business and the person is blue, you better be going to them with the business they are good at. Because they will want to participate, they would want to control the business. If they're not good at it, if that's not their area of expertise, they're not going to invest in your business. A yellow person will not invest in train business because it's not flashy. You don't roll into a party with the, best train in town. No. Maybe in limo business they might, but not, in train business. So now, how do you convince an investor? You know the person's color. How do you convince them to invest in your business? Have you ever gone to meet somebody, Wale Godo, to invest in your business and the person said no? Have you?
No.
No. They always invest in your business ideas?
I rarely do approach people.
Okay. Jamila, have you ever approached anybody to invest in your business?
I'm in the process right now, so
Oh,
right.
nice.
So I'm not sure how that will turn out. I'll do the chapter, but no.
Oh, good, nice. Has anybody ever been to an investor and asked them to invest in their business and the person said no? You have? Have you ever gone to anybody and the person said yes? What did you think? Was it just that no person wasn't nice?
Having made money or the concept of the business wasn't attractive to them.
Nice, interesting, great.
Could you repeat those, or maybe give them a microphone?
Oh, please, let me give him the microphone.
I can answer the question. I forgot.
So, what's the difference between the no person and the yes person?
Well, when the person rejects, when they say no to investing in your business or your idea, it's for the most part it's either they don't like the concept of the business, or their view on how to make money is completely different from what you're offering them. And the person that says yes is, in my opinion, is just more of a risk taker. The how-to stuff doesn't really matter to them. It's just what's the outcome and if they're able to do it.
Interesting. And you raised very valid points, and these are the things that I talk about in the book. Before you go and meet somebody to invest in your business, first of all, when you pick somebody, you should probably try and find out what their money color is. If you want to start like a new lounge in DC, the best thing that ever happened since, Tupac died or something,
DC Public Library Association.
you probably want to be sure that they're yellow.
I'd like
or
to invite you
green.
to join us for an introduction to patent and trademarks.
If you come to meet me, a blue person,
Intellectual property is
then maybe I
everywhere,
want to be
and
the
you
investor
need to know
manager.
about it. Join us
Because
at
don't forget, a blue person wants to be in
715
control
and 220
of what
to
they
get
are
an
investing
introduction
in.
to U.S. patents and trademarks.
Now, when you now find out the person's color and you think they are aligned with your business, what do you present to the person?
Proposal.
The example I gave in the book is about you are at a bus stop and it's raining really heavily. And the first car comes to you and gives you a ride. But the driver looks so shabby. The car has so much junk at the back. The front door is falling off. It's raining heavily. Are you going to take the ride? Perhaps not. The second car comes. The car is empty. There's space at the back. But the roof is off. Well, you probably don't want a convertible when it's raining. You're not going to take the ride. But if the third car comes, and it's Ansa's very nice new car, there's only one passenger in front, there's nobody else at the back, it's very clean, and the driver is just going past you, you're going to stop him, right? And say, just rescue me from this. This is how investors see you. When you go to an investor and you have no budget, you have no plan, you have no projection, you have no idea how the business is going to turn out, you are like the first two cars. You just look like a bad deal. Right out of the box, you're like a bad deal. You just don't look good. Because think about it. If you had all this money and somebody came to you and said, I can double this money for you in 2 years' time. You ask the person how. The person talks and it's a good, rap. And you say, let me see the numbers. And the person is stammering. Nothing's going to happen. So when you approach investors, my idea is that you have to understand the person and you have to do your homework. You have to know, why am I charging this price? What's my cost structure? At what point do you get your money back if you invest in my business? So these are the things that in 15 very short chapters I've tried to talk about. I hope that you will enjoy the book. I hope that you will read it and you will benefit from it, and that we will all, become rich and successful someday. Thank you very much. So does anybody have any questions or any comments? Yep. All right, we can give you the mic. Oh, hi. Good to see you.
I just remembered one thing you said earlier, I'd like to relate that. If you do start your own business, which you say isn't for everybody, you might want to think hard about having it be your passion, something you're passionate about. That will get you over a lot of these problems that you mentioned, because it will cause you to fight through these problems, some of which are always going to come up because it's in your heart. It's not going anywhere. The other thing related to spending, and this is just me, because everybody has different habits, and I'm kind of on the old side, so I don't need much anymore. Certain benefits kick in. But one thing we talk about, at EWI, is that business is your passion. That in itself is going to fulfill you in a lot of ways that you might not think, even if you're not making a lot of money. And therefore, it may be like it was for me, and I know I'm not the only one, that you may not feel quite the strong need to go out and buy other things to compensate for the fact that you're not feeling too good about yourself, you're stressed, you're not too happy, like a lot of us in Washington, when you're in the big world. That compensates for the fact that you hate your job, you're tired of being hassled by people, including your boss, etc. So a lot of these things that you need, maybe you don't need so much if you're in a position where every day, even though you're not necessarily wealthy, you are really doing things that you love. It's not everybody, but it's very interesting how that will kick in sometimes.
You're very right. You're correct. It's all of a sudden you feel stressed, and the thing you want to do is to run instead of eat. you would experience more success. So, it's very important to be in touch with your inner self, especially if you're red. If you're a red person, you're probably spending money because you're trying to down some other sorrows in your life, like maybe your work that is not going on fine. So it's very important. Any other question? Don't make me call you. Don't make me call you. Any other questions?
Does your book suggest any particular kinds of business that might be good for some of these different colors, personalities?
Well, I don't suggest businesses, but I kind of give an idea of what I think that you should look out for. A green person needs no suggestion. Everything they see is money. Every time they look at something, they look for an opportunity to make money from it. And I can see a couple of green people right in this room. I'm not even going to mention any names. For a blue person, it's very important that you do a business that you are good at. This is because the key for you is control. You want to control something. So you want to make sure that you are competent and able to manage the business, and nobody is going to take your money and take it away. For a yellow person, I kind of suggest a yard sale for all your designer clothes and designer shoes. That might be a good thing, or a yard sale for your Lamborghini and all your convertibles. For a green person, I think socially relevant businesses are very important. Businesses that, speak to your values. Many people who are quite religious are gray. So when you have a business that really, touches you, that you feel like you're helping somebody, that might be something, that you want to invest in. If you're red, you probably don't want to do business yet. Until you can migrate to another color. Any other comment or questions? I was going to call you.
So what exactly motivated you, and how did you get this idea to look at money and people through this lens of color?
Okay, well, I first of all want to introduce her. If you have the book, she's the one who wrote the review at the back of the book. That is my big boss at EWI. That's the amazing and tireless Marga. I don't know how she gets all her energy, but somehow she does it. She runs a very, very, very interesting program, which is where I met these two wonderful ladies and her, for women who are trying to make something of, the economy and of their own power through commerce. It's absolutely amazing. It's Empowered Women International. So what motivated me? Well, I like to write. I never go anywhere without a pen and a paper. I always write. And I have been an accountant for about 15 years. And people ask me questions. And the kind of questions they ask me, sometimes I think, seriously, you don't know that? Or I see businesses that don't work, and I see that the person who is running the business is the one standing in the way of the business success. So I started to think about writing something. But one of the things that really pushed me was when I started to volunteer for EWI. And I met the first class, I think it was last May, in Rockville. And one of the ladies asked me about essentially the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. And I don't mean to get, technical here. But she was very innocent when she said, in my country, she's from East Africa somewhere. She said, in my country, if you don't want to pay all these taxes from what you're earning, you can hire your mother, hire your sister, and you pass your money through them. I'm here in America, can I do that? And I was like, perhaps not. And I think from, I was with you that day, and from, when I left that event, it really dawned on me. I was like, people can really gain something from getting these things written down. But I was still procrastinating until September, and something eventually pushed me. Some graduate students in Temple University, I was doing their audit, and the kind of questions they asked me the entire day, I was like, oh gee, I need to write this down. Otherwise, people are going to go bankrupt. So, eventually I took the charge. So.
But how did you get the idea to use colors? Why colors?
Oh, colors. It's interesting because I think that just came, there's some ideas that run into your mind and they just stay and they just look like, aha. I have been looking for a way to describe people and, talk about them and money, and I didn't want to use any kind of scale or things I've been reading. And I started with green. And I love green, it's my favorite color. If you know me, I usually wear green to everything, except today that I wore blue because this is my color. But, so I started thinking, I said, you know what? Let me pick some colors and try and see what I think about when I think about these colors. And eventually, I picked these 5 colors. It was funny because when the final edit was being done, the editors were trying to get me to change the gray to purple. And I said no. Because when I think about a gray person, I think about a gray person as somebody who can be dull, but if you rock gray very well, it can really look good. It's a color that can be, it can be bland. But if you really do like a nice thing with gray, I can see a couple of nice gray stuff going on here. And that is what I had in mind when I was thinking about that color. That you can be like such a passive person in the economy. But if you think about your values and how you can contribute to economic development, so that's, so one more question or one more comment about money or idea to share with, DJ Tanner, this is my brother, DJ Tanner.
Oh, I'll get it. This is actually a comment that kind of touches a little bit on everything that she has taught us today. She's a sister of mine. I call her my sister. What I want to touch on is about this time last year, I started a small business, and I'm only telling this. Who knows? Some of you might learn from it. This time last year, I started a small business. I decided to make a business out of something I do every day. I'm always either listening to music, thinking about music, talking about music, researching music. So I got an idea, why don't I just become a DJ in addition to my regular job? And I picked that up about this time last year, it was about May last year. And little by little, I bought some equipment, I started getting some events here and there, made some money, and I got a little bit of popularity out of the work I was doing. And based on the number of events I've been hired to do, I thought I've arrived. I'm making a lot of money. I'm making a lot of money. This is good, And then about 2 months ago, she was talking to me about my business, and she said, make sure you keep account of everything you're earning and spending. Make sure you open a separate account for your DJ, career. And I thought, I don't need to do that. But one day I sat down at home, and I was thinking about what she said. So I decided to open an Excel sheet. And I started thinking about every dollar that I'd spent in the name of DJ. I started thinking about every trip I'd taken in the name of DJ. I know how to calculate mileage from my regular job.